Welcome back to the BTS Happy Hour podcast. I'm your host, Andrea. With me as always is Morgan.
Hey, what's up?
This week we saw IU and Suga release their collaboration called 8, which had a video and a song. And I normally don't love the BTS collaborations with other Korean artists, like the solo female artists that they do every once in a while.
Oh.
Well, it's just a different style of music that I don't really get into.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar about their other collaborations.
There was one with RM, like Winter Flower, and then some other ones like very similar to that, where it was like a female singer,
right?
And one of the rappers.
But none as big as this though. She's a big star.
Yeah, she's like super A-list as I understand it. So this is a huge song.
As you understand, you know that. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm not in Korea. I don't know what exactly
who. Just based on videos. And
who to compare her to.
Yeah.
She'd be like a Taylor Swift, I guess. Like a solo.
I guess she's the number one female star.
Yeah.
Right? I arguably, yeah, I think that's safe to say.
And
so, yeah, it's big. But then it wasn't that much of a collaboration. You didn't have that much of a part in it, right? I mean, when you listen to the song, his part was not that huge.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a lot of her part. And
it was basically her
singing.
Song. Right, which is fine.
Maybe his role was more in the producing of it. And it seems like he's very in demand for that. But yeah, I normally don't love the collabs they do with the Korean artists. It's just too different. Like I like a more Western sound, but I do like IU songs. Like
she has pretty Western sound.
Yeah, so she's not typical then.
This song reminded me. It sort of sounded 80s/90s. It sort of got that. It had that vibe. It sounded like an 80s song to me. I don't know why. This is based on nothing. It's just a feeling.
Yeah, I felt a Western flavor.
Yeah, and it felt a kind of a dated flavor. Now, some people might think it's bad, but I like 80s music, so it's not bad for me. So I liked it.
No, there's a lot of 80s going around right now, so if that's what it sounded like, then...
It's back in, it's retro.
That's definitely on trend then.
And she's not a typical K-pop person. I like the fact that her music is, it's more cogent, it's cohesive, it's a single type of song. It's not 10 different songs wrapped up into one.
Yeah.
So it's not typical of K-pop in that way. It's kind of what we're used to in the States. So I did like that. I mean, I don't hate that K-pop is sort of a mashup of a bunch of songs, but I would say it's not my preference. I would say I would prefer that songs are more singular in their vision. And all of her songs are that way.
Yeah, and sometimes there's a song.
The sound is a sound.
Sometimes there's a song where it's a singer plus a rapper and it doesn't totally go together.
I think it works this time because his role is not big, Yeah. It's not like they were trying to... it didn't feel like it forced, like they were trying to fit the rap in and it was forced. It did seem, okay, it fits. And it wasn't overpowering, like, here's a long rap break.
Yeah.
It was very short, and the song itself is short, so the break is really short, which is good, I think. I think less is more, especially when you're making you changing up the sound of a song. I tend to not like that. I don't like songs that just sound like a totally different song suddenly.
Yeah.
But I liked it. It had that sort of 80s, 90s vibe to me, and I know some people won't like that, but I like it.
I didn't realize she was 28.
Well, what does that have to do with anything?
I don't know.
Like she likes 80s music?
No.
She's still not old enough to like 80s music.
No, but it's like she's almost considered like a more mature artist. Like this is like she's done multiple albums already.
Yeah.
And
she's older. True, right.
But it did have a more mature message. I guess it's a kind of a sad song about memories of people. That's what I
never listened to the message.
That's what I understood from... just
okay.
looking at the video.
Great. I never break down videos or anything like that.
The video, it looked like she went to... It was like very futuristic in the beginning, right? She went to some place and she's wearing like a futuristic looking outfit and was hooked up to a computer. And then it looked like these memories were in the computer and now she was like looking at them. That's what I took from that.
Oh, I don't even want to go. I didn't look into it that deeply. I really, sometimes I think that, I don't want to ruin anybody's fun. It's fun for people to read a lot into it and break these things down. So I don't want to, rain on anybody's parade. But sometimes I think that it really isn't that deep to begin with. People just sort of put imagery in there, and it's not a lot of thought was put into it, and they don't have to. I don't think music has to be that deep. but people read a lot into it, and it's not quite. There's nothing really there to read into.
Well, just from some of the lyrics, it was talking about memories and farewells and talking about being young forever. So that I took that to mean like it was about friends that passed away. And
what does the flying on the dragon have to do with all that?
I don't know. Like maybe that's some memory she had, or
Yeah, here's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing.
I don't know about interpreting that, but
Right. Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm the different one. I don't think of music videos as a higher art form like that. I don't even bother to read that much into it like it's a film. I don't break down any of that. If it's pleasant, if the song is good and the visuals are pleasant, that's good enough for me. I'm not going to read a lot into it. There was dragons flying. Yeah. It just sort of seemed like, okay, these are interesting images and now we're a cartoon. Okay.
yeah, I didn't know why it was a cartoon versus a memory.
That's fine. I'm sure somebody who's thought about this very deeply can explain that.
There's
or
probably,
has come up with an explanation.
there's probably somebody with like a 25-minute
I'm
video.
I'm not saying that is the official explanation, but you can explain anything if you think about it long enough. You could write a thesis on pretty much anything. But not everything is really that deep. That's what I'm trying to say. And a lot of these pop music videos, I don't know, guys. It's not like 2001 The Space Odyssey or something. It's not like it's not like that. But it was a good song. Yeah, that's all I have to say about it.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was a good song, a good video.
That's it. Yeah, I put it on my playlist.
On May 8th, South Korea's Supreme Court published the results of their latest court decision, which involved Big Hit's lawsuit against various companies selling unauthorized fake photo goods of BTS. So apparently it's totally illegal to sell fake photo books that have BTS photos in them.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be? I'm sure it's illegal.
I think it's surprising to us because we already have laws like that in the U.S. protecting artists and like their images and like their official,
right,
information, that you can't just make a profit off of someone else's image. Right. But apparently South Korea doesn't have as strong of a law protecting intellectual property like that. So it had to go all the way to the Supreme Court to like figure this out.
Yes, I mean, and this is not, I'm not trying to cast aspersions on South Korea or anything like that, but it's well known that, knockoffs and things like that don't necessarily respect intellectual copyright, it's a little bit easier there, right?
Yeah.
You can buy knockoff like name brands like Gucci and things like that a little easier. You can do it in person in South Korea.
Yeah. And
that's not to say you can't do it in person in America. You can, but it is more difficult. It is more strictly enforced. You can get shut down, but at the same time, it's not impossible in either place. I'm not sure what impact this will have in anywhere, here, there, online, anywhere. I mean, if you go online and search for BTS merchandise right now, I've done it before. It's very obvious that that's not official merchandise.
Yeah.
Like the things at the top of the
there's
search.
Stuff everywhere on Amazon, on all these sites.
Yeah, it's very obvious to me because I go to the official BTS site and it's like very simple, very limited official merchandise. You go on Amazon, it's not simple official merchandise. It's got people's pictures on it, and you've seen it. And just go on Amazon right now and look for it. It's a bunch of stuff with BTS pictures plastered all over it. And if you go to their official site, and Weverse or whatever, I've been there. None of the stuff has their pictures. It's either just the word BTS or it's their little cartoon things.
The logo.
It's different. It's very obviously different, and the price points really give it away. You can buy a sweatshirt for $20. That's not what an official merchandise.
It shouldn't be that cheap.
Yeah, that's certainly not. Like, where is your profit margin? Where's the cut that goes to BTS? It's clear there's no cut that goes to them, right?
A fake merch that I've seen a lot, like when we were at the Rose Bowl, there were a lot of people had the same thing. So I don't know if they all bought from the same site, but it was like they had the person's name on the back, like Jimin or whoever.
That's right.
And it had like 95, like it was a sport jersey.
I've seen that. If you go on Amazon, you'll see that exact thing.
Yeah.
And if that's being sold on Amazon, that tells you, well, it's not really heavily enforced. You can buy non-sanctioned merchandise on Amazon of all places. You don't have to go to AliExpress or some some Chinese site, right? And of course, for all these copyright things, once you go to China, all bets are off. You can get anything in China.
Yeah.
They will not only sell things that are not official, they will sell knockoffs of things. And that look anyway. That's neither here nor there. But the point is, one ruling in the South Korean court is not really going to have much impact. You know, is it a big deal? No, I don't think so. I don't think it really is going to impact their sales either way. Like what they would have sold is what they would have sold. You know, I don't think these other people are really cutting into their sales because they're different price points.
Yeah.
If you want the official thing, well, you know where it is. You're going to go get it. Go pay $80 for a sweatshirt. And I'm not saying it's wrong to pay for $80 for a sweatshirt. I'm just saying these are clearly two different types of products you're talking about, and perhaps two different consumers, right? So it's not really impacting at all.
Yeah.
This is like a long debate. It's similar to piracy of movies and things. Like, do people who pirate movies impact your bottom line as a movie studio? There's people who say yes, there's people who say no. There's an argument to be had either way, right? But it is all illegal, yes. Korean courts reaffirm that okay.
I guess this gives Big Hit more standing. So if they wanted to sue all these other people, now they can.
Right.
They could say, look at this ruling. What you just did is illegal. So it gives them more power.
Right.
So
it's not going to impact their bottom line. So overall, it's not going to make a big difference. I don't think it's wrong of them to go for it, but I don't think it's going to make a big difference.
So we're in the U.S., as you know, in California, and states are just starting to go through their reopening plans after widespread lockdowns. So it's not, unbelievable to think that concerts might be allowed to come back by the end of this year or maybe early
Perhaps.
next year.
You never know.
So, but I thought maybe it's not too early to start getting prepared for going to concerts. And I get the impression that a lot of people haven't been to a concert before, or even much less a BTS concert. So there's a lot of things that would be good to know from veterans such as us.
I mean, I think, I don't know, I wouldn't go that far. I think people have been to concerts, but maybe they haven't been to as many concerts as we have. They're not tested veterans like we are.
Maybe the kind that are at stadiums or like large scale kind of thing. And there's
since concerts are canceled, maybe it's just nice to think about going to concerts.
Yeah, so you can be as prepared as possible for when that starts up again.
But so what are we going to talk about?
So this is, once you have your tickets already, we've passed that point.
No, we don't have to pass that point. Let's talk about tickets, right? We can talk about tickets. I'm ready to talk about tickets.
Okay. Well, we kind of talked about that in an earlier episode a little bit, how to get optimal tickets.
I mean, maybe just walk people, so basically we are going to talk about just the do's and don'ts and just walking people through how to create an optimal concert experience from step one, right? Mm-hmm. Based on our many, many terrible, terrible mistakes. I mean, if you can learn a little bit, that's good. So let's start with actually buying tickets.
Yeah.
I think it's relevant. It's actually relevant. Don't assume the buying tickets. That's actually a pretty key component of the whole concert experience. So basically, before you buy a ticket, you need to decide where you're going to buy a ticket, right? Number one, there's two options. You can buy it from official channels, Ticketmaster in the United States, or you can buy it from StubHub or any kind of secondary market. Now, essentially what you're asking yourself is, what's more important to me? Whether or not I get the exact seat I want and I'm insured of getting a ticket, or whether I just want a deal, right? So if you definitely want to see this concert and you definitely want the best seat possible, of course you're trying to buy it day one and use any pre-sale, get your ticket. That's simple enough. But let's say you are not set on buying a ticket, then you have some flexibility. You can sort of just wait on it and see the price fluctuate in the secondhand market, right? Like, we've seen a lot of concerts for super cheap because we could wait till the last second and just buy it that day.
Yeah.
So if it's a concert that you're just sort of so-so on and it's near where you live, right? And this is not necessarily true of everybody, but if you live in a major metro area, consider using this strategy. Just keep an eye on StubHub the day of the concert. And not only the day of the concert, 2 hours before the concert, 1 hour before the concert, and see where those prices are. Because remember, these are real people who are stuck holding these tickets.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's people that they were never intending to go. They just bought it to be able to resell it.
Yeah, so there's real people stuck holding these tickets who are facing a loss at an hour before the concert, et cetera, right? You could find a really, really good bargain and then just go see that concert. Now, there's, of course, a good chance that no good prices will come. It will never get marked down to some crazy level that you like. But again, this is what you do for concerts that you're just sort of 50-50 on. So that's something to consider. Although, I'm sure with our listeners, most people are really dead set on getting that ticket. So, of course, then you just do whatever you can to buy it as soon as you can.
Yeah, and you can try to involve yourself in as many pre-sales as possible.
Right.
Like there was one by the Army membership that you could get, and there was also a Ticketmaster pre-sale. And sometimes there's one related to credit cards, so like keep an eye out of whatever that artist is endorsing, because sometimes they have like a Capital One deal or something like that. So
just if you've got to get a ticket, you got to see this concert, you got to get the best seat possible, then of course avail yourself of all the options. But if you're just sort of so-so, then you should wait. You should wait till that day if you live close enough to the venue. The other question you've got to ask yourself is where you want that seat. Now, if money is no object, then of course just buy the best seat possible. But most people, they want a good value, right? Most people are not just swimming in money. And in our vast experience going to concerts, I find that the best values, first of all, if it's upper bowl, like the upper level seating, there's always about 2 levels of seating, right? There's a lower level seating and there's upper level seating. Whether it's stadium or whether it's a basketball arena type place, it almost always has the lower level seating and the upper level seating. Sometimes there's a mezzanine level, it's sort of in between, but we'll ignore that. I find that sitting in the upper level is almost always bad. It's not a great experience. You just feel so far away from it. Now, it's the cheapest, of course, so if that's all you can afford, then of course do that. But if you want the best value, I find that the best value tends to be if you can sit on the lower level, but all the way
like further
to the
back.
side. Like where you're sort of looking at the side of the stage, right? Those seats are usually marked down because it's considered a bad view. Because you're not the artist is not even facing you. You're
looking sideways.
You're looking kind of at the side of them, and people they want to view the front of them, right? But here's the thing: you tend to be looking at the screen most of the time anyway, and then when you look down, you just want the experience of being close to the artist. Well, you are close to the artist. You're just kind of to the side. You're not to the front or whatever.
Yeah, I do think the side view is a little underrated.
It's a little bit underrated because you do have that proximity. Are you looking at the front of them? No, but then they still walk to the side.
They walk around all over the place.
Look around. It's just, they're not going to be facing the front 100% of the time like a robot, okay? So if you're looking for good value, lower level seating to the side. It's often marked down. Now, if it's not marked down, then that's not a good value, obviously. But it often is because it's just considered bad seating, right? But it's still close to them. I would consider it good seating. Are you looking at the side of them very often? Yes. But you don't care. You just want to be close, right? If you want to see the front of them, just look at the big screen. It will show the front of them, So I consider that the best value.
And sometimes from the side, you can see stuff you wouldn't normally see. Like maybe there's the entrance where the artist walks out for certain parts of it. Like you might see some special things.
Yeah, there's that. But the point is you can get a lower level seat for less than you pay anywhere else in the lower level, right? And those are usually the last to sell as well. So if you weren't in a pre-sale or anything like that, you can still get those seats much later for face value if most of it has sold out already. But don't be afraid of those seats. I find that they're just fine and certainly better than upper level, but also not too much worse than other lower level seats. Let's say you're lower level, but sort of viewing them straight on, but then you're farther away. How's that? Is that good? Is that better? I don't think so. I think proximity is what they like.
Yeah. What's funny is we've been able to take advantage of, and this is like the artist's fault, that they thought they could sell out that venue and they didn't. And so now they've got all these tickets left over. So it's like we're kind of benefiting from that they overstated what they thought they could sell. This is not BTS, but it's like other people that.
Yeah, and this goes back to, just wait till the day of, if you don't have to see this artist, and just to see where the market is 1 hour before.
There's so many artists that we listen to, like, okay, yeah, they're on our playlist. We like their songs, but it's like, are they worth the effort to go all the way in person? And it's like a lot of artists people don't think are worth that effort. So there's going to be last minute tickets.
Right.
So, and artists seem to overestimate the arenas that they can fill, it seems.
So let's say once you have your ticket, now the question is the concert going to be in your hometown? Is it close enough to where you live, or do you have to fly there, right? But either way, if it's in your hometown or you have to fly there, the next few tips are all about research. Research. You have to research a bunch of things. Be prepared. The main thing, first thing you're going to research is everything about the logistics of it. If you have to book a hotel, where is the hotel? How do you get from the hotel to the venue? How long does it get from the hotel to the venue, right? Mm-hmm. Are you taking an Uber? Are you taking public transit? What is the parking situation like at the venue?
Are you driving your own car?
Yeah, all of
these things. If you're driving a car, then you might need a parking pass.
Right. Are you taking, or sometimes like we go to concerts in the Bay Area, we'll take a BART.
Yeah.
From our location in the Bay Area to the venue. We'll take a BART. But BART is basically a public transit, like a subway. Basically, right? You need to calculate the logistics of that. Those things take time. How long does it take? There was one time where we took a BART from our location to a Lady Gaga concert, and it took like an hour.
Yeah.
It took like an hour. And in that hour, I was drinking throughout that time. And in the middle of it, I had to go to the bathroom. We had to exit, and I had to go to the bathroom somewhere. So it took us an hour and a half to get there. And we finally got to the venue. The concert was like half over with.
Yeah.
So that was obviously a really dumb mistake.
I didn't even miscalculate.
Yeah, I just thought, well, you just jump in the transit and you're pretty much there. No, it was at the far end.
The BART ride was so long.
It was like one of the longer trips that you could possibly take on it, right? So I miscalculated as far as how much I could drink on that trip, which, by the way, you're not supposed to drink a BART, but I do it anyway. And also, when we should leave for it.
Yeah, and also that venue, it wasn't like right off outside of the BART station.
No,
then you got to take an Uber to there.
There didn't do any calculation. I just sort of assumed it'd be similar to other venues.
Yeah, like other things are somewhat near a BART stop.
But those things are closer. So the logistics are different, right? Yeah. So you need to actually do it. Map it out on your Google Maps. Literally, map it out. And it will give you a very good estimate of the time. And then add 30 minutes to that because you want to be safe. So the logistics in and out, you need to take care of. And when I say out, I'm talking about when we got stuck in the Rose Bowl for 3 hours. That was pure hell. Although I don't know if we could have avoided that.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're stuck there. But at the very least, we could have not told our friends that we would be available to meet them an hour afterwards.
Yeah.
Because if we studied it, we would know, oh, wow, you're not getting out of the Rose Bowl.
We're not going to make it to downtown LA or whatever it was.
Yeah. That was really stupid. So, research the in and out logistics beforehand. Where's your hotel? How long does it take? Does it need to be closer? Then book a hotel that's closer, right? And also don't assume that just because a hotel is quote unquote closer that it's better. Because how are you getting from the hotel to there? Are you walking? That could take a while. But there might be another hotel that's technically farther away, but it's got some efficient transit going on.
Yeah.
That actually makes it faster. You need to research all of these things, or you might find that you are arriving late and you're pressed for time and you're stressed out, right? So researching logistics to and from, super important. Do not, just trust me, transportation and logistics is super important.
Like, here's what you shouldn't do. Don't just assume like, oh yeah, I'm going to drive there the day and just roll up, half an hour before. Like, there's no way it's going to like work out easily. Right. Like, something always goes wrong if you think you're just going to drive straight to there. Right.
And if you expect to be driven there and dropped off, that entails like some places have worse traffic than others. So this is the type of thing you need to research.
Yeah, this is California. There could be like pretty bad traffic.
Right. I mean, for us speaking, yes. But for you, depending on where it is, it could be good, it could be easy and efficient, or it could be difficult. It all depends. You need to do that legwork.
Yeah, some venues, they are set up properly for like drop-offs. Like there's a roundabout or something, or there's a place. It's like, okay, if you're dropping someone off, go here, and you follow that route, and it's like efficient. But so far the places we've been to aren't like that, and
anyway,
they're just like
do
last
that
minute.
research. It will save you headache. You won't be stressed in arriving an hour late or 2 minutes before and running in. You don't want to be that person. Okay. Another thing that you need to do research beforehand for is you're going to be wanting to drink throughout this concert. Now, no offense to the people who don't drink. I just don't identify with you at all. This is not for you. But people who drink at a concert, they want to go out and have fun afterwards and eat. And even if you don't plan to do that, you're going to want that after you've been drinking, you've been at a concert. Trust me.
Yeah.
That will override whatever rational, I'll just go back to the hotel. Like, no. Once you had a X amount of drinks in you, you will say, no, I don't want to go back to the hotel. Let's go do something fun. Well, plan that stuff out beforehand. Don't be a drunk pawing through your Yelp on your phone, wondering, okay, what's close and what's open? No, don't do that. Beforehand, determine which restaurants you want to go to, what's open that day at that time, what's close, how you get there, etc., and then go do that. Plan that out. Trust me, you'll be a lot better. You know, don't be the person like thumbing through
It's
their
like
phone.
11 p.m. and you're like, what's open right now?
What's open at 12:30? Oh, this isn't
It's
open.
like, wait,
oh,
the
this isn't
area
open.
I'm in, nothing's open.
You gotta plan that out. Okay, trust me. You will thank me for this. Just plan that out. And even if you don't, maybe you do want to go home and just go to sleep. No loss, right? And then just go home and sleep. And you don't. That planning, I guess, was a waste of time, but so what, right? That's no huge loss. But you'll want to do that kind of thing beforehand while you're sober in front of a computer, not right after a concert when you're in a rush and you've been drinking and you're on your phone and you're just like frantically saying, what's open right now? What's close to us? And oh man, I'm not getting good reception right here. How many people have been in that situation when you're frantically trying to see what is open nearby to satisfy my munchies and, I'm not getting good reception. Does this place look good or does this place look good? Let's look at the pictures. It's like the pictures are loading slowly.
You're going to want good food. You don't want to like resort to like the 7-Eleven. Right. It's like, oh, I'm hungry right now.
If you're like that, you're going to be doing what we've done embarrassingly more than a couple times, which is to give up, go back to the hotel and just order like room service from the hotel or something. It's not good. Trust me. Especially if you're going to a different town. If it's your hometown, you probably know.
Yeah, you'll know the options.
Yeah, you'll know the options. But if you're going to a different town, research that beforehand. Otherwise, you're probably going to end up, your ass is going to be at the hotel and you're just going to be Grubhubbing or getting room service. And that's no fun.
Then you're overpaying.
Yeah, and also you're not experiencing more of that city, right? You want to experience more of that city. But do all of that legwork beforehand. Go to Google Maps. You can flag the locations.
Bookmark in your Yelp.
Exactly. In case you need to show the Yelp pictures to other people to convince them that, yeah, we should go to this restaurant. Although, theoretically, all of you should be drunk, so it shouldn't be too hard to convince them. But the point is, this legwork, this research needs to be done beforehand for a smooth, enjoyable night.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised how many cities don't have that many late night options.
Yeah,
so
you don't know what closes at 11:30 or 12. And most concerts end at 11:30. Yeah. You're not going to roll up transit-wise, logistics-wise. The soonest you're talking about, as far as if you want to go eat somewhere.
By the time you get to a restaurant.
Yeah, or get to a restaurant or, well, I guess if you're going to a bar after, they're all open at midnight. But if you want to go to a late night restaurant first, midnight. 11:30, 11:45 is when you're arriving there. You can't just roll up to any restaurant at 11:45, especially if they close at midnight.
Yeah.
So you want a late night place. So you need to research all of this. It's easy on Yelp. Just say what is open this date at this time, right? And then when you're, weeks before, you can research all you want. Look at the pictures and all that stuff, right? So I definitely recommend. Same goes with clubs, bars, things like that. Square all of that away first. Don't be the person fumbling around through Yelp at 11:30 right after the concert ends. And then you're in the Uber and you're in some sort of frantic negotiation with your Uber driver. Or worse yet, you're asking the Uber driver, where should we go? Don't ask him. You need to, this is your night. You know what you like, so you should have done this legwork, okay? He's not the concierge. Yeah, he's not your personal concierge. He's an Uber driver, okay? So plan all of this stuff, all right? You'll have a much better night.
Sometimes you're the driver, sometimes you're not the driver, but as often the driver, I would say don't pick a place where there's a lot of driving and like you have to drive like 3 hours to get to the concert and then 3 hours at the end of the night. It's like that's not a good situation.
Yeah. Don't do anything that just I mean, for the people who don't ever drink, I guess you don't have to consider this, but if you do drink, then maybe just assume that you're going to drink because you're probably going to want to drink. And what if at the last second you change your mind and say, yeah, I want to drink? Well, you should have planned for that, right? You don't want to have to last second make some last minute change in plans to accommodate your decision to drink suddenly.
I just feel like a lot of people put up with a long drive to get to the concert, but it's like you don't realize there's going to be a long drive back. Like that's not a good situation for you. It's not that safe.
No.
So you want to stay like within 20 minutes or 30 minutes of the place where the venue is.
Yeah, and also if you don't have to fly to the venue, but you do have to drive maybe an hour to 2 hours to 3 hours to the venue, which is the case for, a lot of people. They live close enough to a venue where they can drive 3 hours or less.
Yeah.
But it's not far enough that it justifies flying. I highly recommend that you get a hotel room. I understand that it's more money, but just trust me, it's not going to be pleasant to drive all the way back.
No.
You have to remember that at the end of the day, this is supposed to be fun. Don't try to minimize the number of things that will detract from your enjoyment. And the stress of traveling there and back and not having any sort of station or home base in close to the venue, it's really going to detract from your fun. Don't do that.
There's plenty of hotel rooms you can get that are within your budget. There's like so many options.
Right. Now, if you can't afford that, I actually would recommend getting a cheaper ticket, going and having a cheaper ticket, but still having the comfort of having a home base there, I would argue is better than getting a better ticket and having the stress of, driving there, driving back, having this long drive. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Because you won't you'll look back and you'll remember these unpleasant parts of it. Mm-hmm. And then
it's going to overshadow.
What was the point of that? Yeah. You're going to remember unpleasantness. That's no good. You just want to have good memories of this. And I don't think a lot of traveling, I don't think anybody's enjoyed traveling, okay? Especially if it's like 3 hours of driving.
So you'll want to minimize the travel time.
Right. So if you're in that sort of gray area where it doesn't justify airfare, but it's far away still, I would still suggest getting a hotel.
Yeah.
Even though technically you could drive there and drive back. I still would recommend getting a hotel room. Try to get some other people to go with you, and then you could, maybe share the hotel room or something.
Well, what would you say about the number of people to go with to a concert? Because I think a lot of our experience is just going with one other person. And that makes it, I think that's the easiest option. But do you think, is there too many people?
No, I don't think there's too many. As long as everybody is on board with your planning.
Maybe if there's a leader, someone decides.
No, not maybe if there is a leader. Maybe if you're the leader. As long as you're the leader, it's okay.
Right.
If somebody else is the sort of the leader and is pushing back, then that's no good.
That's not going to work.
Because you're the one who's going to be planning all of this stuff. You're the one that's going to be the most prepared. You should be the leader.
Whoever's the most into the band that you're going to should be the leader.
You should be the leader. You're the most prepared, okay? And hopefully
make all the decisions on stuff like this, the logistics.
You should be you should present, we're going to stay at this hotel. It takes this amount of time to get from here to there. Just the fact that you've done all this research should speak for itself, and people should acquiesce to you and say, okay, you put the work in, you're the expert, so you should lead in this instance, okay? But
I do think the more people there are, the harder it is to kind of keep everybody on board and let's all do the same plan, and you guys are all chipping in for this room and all this, and so I'd probably try not to make the group too big because then it gets too complicated.
Maybe 4 people, maybe 5 people. You should all like the band. So anyway, you've done all the research, you've done all the planning. Now it's time to go to the concert, right? You call your Uber, you get in the public transit, whatever, however you're getting there. The next important thing, pre-gaming. Now, if you're not in your town, if you're in your town, it's easy. Just fill a cup full of alcohol. Fill a McDonald's cup or a 7-Eleven cup or something.
Big cup.
Yeah, it just looks like soda, right? Because you put soda and you put alcohol in it. You want to have that so you can consume it while you go. You don't want to slam alcohol wherever you're staying and then go.
Yeah.
because then you're getting drunk too early. You never want to get drunk too early. You want to push it up to the event as much as possible, right?
Got to be as close to the time before
exactly.
you go in.
Just put it in a nondescript cup, okay? And put a lot of it. But then also don't feel pressured to drink all of it. You're going to throw away some of it. That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay? Once you get there, you just feel okay. You've had enough. Just toss it in the garbage as you walk in, okay? I made this mistake. I have slammed whatever pregame drink that I've had because I thought, well, I don't want to waste it. Oh, no, that was a mistake.
Right. Just have as much as you're going to have. And
right.
Then
have whatever
discard.
makes you feel good and throw the rest away. Trust me.
So usually we're talking about vodka plus a mixer that's in a cup.
Yeah, I mean, whatever pregame is good for you. I mean, vodka and a soda, anything that's acidic is fine. Make it not the worst vodka. Please let the vodka be in a glass, not plastic, right? So don't like drink Popov or anything. At least Smirnoff or Plus. My favorite is Tito's. But just put vodka in there, some soda, maybe some lemon juice, maybe some orange juice, something with acid, and you're set. So that's basically what you're going to want to do for your pregame. The main idea here is do not slam it in your hotel room or in your home base. Drink it slowly as you go there. Unless the transit is very short. Like if it's 5 minutes away, then I guess you can just drink it in your hotel room.
Yeah.
If it's like a 5-minute walk or something. But usually transit is going to be more than that, right? It's going to be like 20 minutes or something.
Yeah, a lot of times you have time in the car.
Right, either in an Uber or in public transit. I tend to want to be drinking during that. I tend to not even drink in the home base. So I'll drink whatever I want to drink in the 20 minutes or so heading over there. I find that ideal. So once you're there, now you can speak to this. What are you actually going to pack on yourself? Like what's in the bag? What are you going to pack in your bag?
Yeah, it's important that you've researched ahead of time what's allowed in the venue because there's some stadiums and some companies that are very specific about what you can have with you. So now they're not really allowing like backpacks or big purses or anymore. So most likely you're going to have to bring a clear bag of some kind and it has to be a very specific size. And just look up what that is ahead of time. And they have bags like that of that exact size on Amazon, so you can buy that. And so what you want in the bag is going to be like your ID, your credit cards, I guess if you're bringing cash, your flat shoes. That's important if you're a woman. You need some shoes that you're going to walk around in because you're probably going to have an outfit that has not flat shoes.
Right, because you want to take cute pictures at first.
Yes.
But your feet will hurt later. And also, like let's say you have a floor seat, you want to be tall.
Yeah. Because
women are short.
You need to have both options.
Now, if you're a tall woman, then ignore this. You can just do whatever. But you probably have heels if you're a woman, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the night, you're going to want to take those heels off.
Yeah, you need to have the flat shoe as an option for walking around.
But they have those, you have those like roll-up shoes. They're not really ballet shoes, but they kind of look like it.
Yeah.
They're
they
exactly
fold up.
Yeah, they're exactly for this purpose. They're drunk girl at the end of the night shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sell this sort of thing.
Because you don't want to you don't want to wear like your cute shoes and then they hurt your feet and then you got to take them off and walk around barefoot. Like that's a bad look.
So have some of these roll-up shoes. They can fit easily in whatever bag that is allowed.
Yeah, they don't take much space and it's very, very useful, especially if you have to walk around a lot afterwards. Like you need to find your Uber or you're stuck in the Rose Bowl for a few hours and you got to walk far. So this is a must. And I feel like almost nobody does that. Like women don't do that for some reason, but you really need to. You need the flat shoes.
Doesn't cost much
to switch into.
So just get that. It doesn't cost much. And you'll appreciate it. And if your phone doesn't have the biggest battery or the battery is maybe bring a charger. Bring a brick.
You definitely need one of those external batteries.
Yeah.
And those are almost always allowed, so that shouldn't be a problem to bring that with you inside the stadium.
And even a small one has a lot of charge.
Yeah, even like the little crappy free ones you get from conferences
or whatever. Yeah, and just one extra charge is probably enough to go on. Like we bring the brick that has like 10 to 20 extra charges. Obviously, you're not going to need that much.
Right.
But even those bricks are not that big, right? But even the tiny ones, it's enough for you to extend your phone, so it's never going to be close. You won't feel like, oh, damn, I ran out in an emergency. Because these days, of course, you need your phone to do anything.
Yeah.
So you better not run out of battery at any point.
You cannot lose power on your phone because you're going to need your phone for not only just taking pictures and video, but also like, contacting your Uber or figuring out your food options and contacting people and messaging people, like all this stuff. Like you really need your phone to have a charge.
And also you might be on your phone more than you think. I mean, I don't know, like maybe some people are on their phone all the time, but in a concert situation, you might be trying to contact other people. You might be taking video of the concert. So your battery might drain a little bit faster. Also, if it's a daytime event, bring some sunscreen.
Yeah.
People have been burnt. They have not brought sunscreen. If it's outdoors, of course, even doubly so. But even if it's indoors, let's say you have to wait in line a little bit before the concert. This is not normally the case, though, because most concerts start like 7:30 or 8.
Yeah.
So this is not normally the case, but we've been to some concerts where sunscreen is necessary.
But what's really weird about the BTS concert we were at last year, which is at the Rose Bowl, and it was supposed to start at 7:30, and we were there pretty early, like 4, I think. And it was like very hot at that time, super hot. So you needed to have sunscreen and sunglasses or, just like a hat or something to cover yourself. But then by the time it was night, it got really cold. So it would have been good. I had a coat. I had like a long coat, but it wasn't very thick. But, just enough to not be freezing cold. So definitely bring enough types of clothing for the weather because it can go from hot to cold at any place.
Anything else to pack?
Let's see. Make sure you have your ID and your tickets if it's a paper ticket or if it's a phone ticket. Yeah. Well, that's another thing you need your phone for. Like make sure you have your ticket, electronic
these things
ticket.
Are obvious. You might want to bring, depending on the type of concert, another shirt. I know this sounds weird, but you might want to bring another shirt if that will fit in there. Sometimes people do get their shirts. I know it sounds weird, but you might want to bring another shirt, just a t-shirt.
Something might spill on it.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't have any weapons with you. I know that sounds weird, but obviously no one's going to bring like a gun or anything. But sometimes people just like have on their keychains, like, like a pocket knife or I have pepper spray. Just don't bring that because you're going to have to throw it away at the door.
You'll throw it away.
That sucks because now I got to buy another one later.
Yeah, they'll make you throw it away.
None of that stuff is allowed inside of a venue. Yeah, so they don't want you to protect yourself. But that's fine. You just go without it for one day.
Another thing that I think you really need to do, okay, so before you go to the concert, you need to look up the set list at Setlist FM. Just Google Setlist FM. So basically, you're looking for the order of songs that they're being played in, right? And the reason why this is important, besides just, being curious or whatever, is let's say you need to go to the bathroom. Well, you want to go when it's maybe a song that you don't love, right? You have to make a choice. You have to make a tough decision here.
When is a good time to go?
When is a good time to go, right? You need to know the basic structure of this concert to do things like that. And especially if you're the type of person who drinks, which I am, you will want to know this sort of thing because you will not stay the whole concert just standing there or sitting there, right? And another reason why you need to know the set list is you're going to want to record certain things on your phone, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, don't be one of those people that records the entire concert on your phone and takes a trillion pictures. I've been that person, first of all, but it's a mistake because no concert, I've never looked back on this footage and thought, man, I'm so happy that I took 2 hours of footage at this concert. I'm looking back on it and enjoying it again. No, I look back at maybe like 5-10 minutes of it and think, it's wonderful. I'm reminiscing or whatever. But the thing is, that could have been done just recording 5 or 10 minutes of it.
Yeah.
You don't need 2 hours of footage or pictures. You need 10 minutes of quality footage, 10 minutes of quality pictures, and finding the set will help you. Because then you'll say, this is my favorite song. I want to record this song.
Yeah. Your good memories are going to be what you remember in your head. It's not going to be what you recorded. Right.
So just record the best 2 or 3 songs maybe. And then that's it. And then for the rest of it, just leave your phone in your pocket and enjoy it. Right. I'm not going to tell people, how some people say, leave your phone in your pocket because you just want to be in the moment or whatever. Okay. That's sort of like telling teenagers not to have sex. I mean, maybe it's good advice, but guess what? It's not going to happen. People they're going to bust out their phone and they're going to have the urge to record stuff. They're going to do it. Better advice is to say judiciously decide which 2 or 3 songs you really want and then have those memories recorded, right? But the rest of the concert, just enjoy it. And then when you look back, trust me, you won't have any regret. You won't say, man, these 2 or 3 songs that I did record, it's not enough. I wish I had the whole thing. No, you won't. And plus, especially in this day and age with the internet, you could just probably look up somebody else probably had even better footage of the entire concert than you anyway.
Yeah.
So who cares? Who even cares? These 2 or 3 songs, it just sort of is, it brings back that nostalgia. It's like, that was me. I was there. I recorded it. That's fine. That's enough. It doesn't need to be the whole thing. You're not a videographer or something, right? You just need to have that little bit that's enough.
If you're a BTS fan, just find Ultimate Dodo on YouTube and then
yeah,
she's there. Like if you missed anything, she got it. Whatever
right.
concert.
So the point is, it's unrealistic to tell you not to bust out your phone or record anything, but realistically, pick the 2 or 3 songs that you really want, and you do that on Setlist FM. And you can even do that with researching what the concert is like, right? Not just what the songs were played, what songs were played, but sort of what the routine was, right? Mm-hmm. You could say, well, what was it? Other people will tell you what the most impressive routines were and stuff.
You know, the only exception to that, though, is when those couple of times where I had one too many drinks and didn't really remember half of the concert, and then it was good that like you had recorded many of the songs, so then it's like, oh, okay, I can look at that later.
Okay, well, that's the next thing. Don't drink too much.
Yeah, that's the next
that's
tip.
The next thing.
Don't overdo it.
I wouldn't say do one thing suboptimally in case you do another thing suboptimally. I would say try to do both of them optimally. So basically, still only record 2 or 3 of the songs. Only take pictures for, I would say take pictures in the beginning and take pictures at the end. That's probably what you want to remember most and have pictures of, the beginning and end, right? And maybe a couple in between. And as far as remembering stuff in between, yes, you don't want to drink too much.
Don't go too hard. If you're if you're a lightweight like me, like know what your limit is.
Yeah.
Don't go too far with
know
it.
what your limit is, and that is important.
Because like when you drink too much, you kind of lose memory. You don't remember like parts of the concert, and like that's makes you angry later once you realize that's what happened.
Right.
So maybe just do 1 or 2 drinks at the place, and that's it.
Right. So have a plan for what you're actually going to record. I know that sounds weird, and some people don't like it ruined. They maybe think, I want it to be a surprise and whatever. Okay, I understand that sentiment, but trust me, it's just more it's worth it, and probably better for you to not have it be a surprise and have a more concrete plan as far as what you actually want to record.
Yeah, especially because like if a song is starting up, then it's like it takes you how long to be like, oh, it's
right.
that song. Let me click record, and then you've missed some of it already.
Right.
Better to just know ahead of time.
Right. So Setlist FM, any major group that's been touring should be on it. So plan accordingly. Don't record the whole thing. Just trust me. I've recorded whole concerts before. We've never looked back at whole recordings and said, thank God we recorded the whole thing. Because now I'm watching a whole concert of my phone footage. No, never. Even when we've had good footage and been really close to the action, I've never gone back and looked at all of it. I've gone back and looked at maybe 5 or 6 minutes and said, whoa, that was cool. Wasn't that cool how close we were? 5 or 6 minutes. So that's all you need to do.
What do we have to say about merch lines?
I don't have anything to say about merch. Well,
don't get in them.
If you need merch, then you've got to get in them. I would recommend, if you're going to go on a merch line, go early. But then the drinker in me says never go early to a concert because you're losing your buzz from before. And that's okay. But then now there's no in and out, so you're pretty much committed to buying alcohol at the venue.
Yeah.
And I really hate that because it's just not worth it, man. It's like Vegas prices for the worst drinks. And it's not even the price necessarily. Believe it or not, here's the thing that irritates me about it. It's not even the price. It is that I have to go far away, stand in a long line to get 2 little cups of crappy alcohol, and they give it to you in those little shallow plastic cups, and I spill some of it on me, and it's just like a challenge to walk back to the seat,
Yeah.
And you don't have to, you say, I don't have to walk back to the seat, I'll just drink it right here. So you're not with anybody? You went to this concert alone, I guess, maybe, right? But I have to walk back to the seat. It's very annoying. All of these things are just annoying. It's not even the price of it necessarily. It's just a hassle. So I hate buying liquor at concerts. Maybe one or two, but even that, it's just a pain. So I don't like going early to concerts because then, well, your pregame buzz wore off. So keep in mind concerts are... Oh, also research if a concert has opening acts. Whether they start at the starting time or whether or not they have two opening acts starting.
Yeah, it's like, are they worth watching?
Yeah, and do you want to see them?
Buy you some time if you come
Right.
a little bit later.
Because usually, I just don't want to see them. I don't even care. I do not even care. The opening act is just, I just feel it's just sort of buffer, right? Only very few times I've been screwed by that. Like, I remember once went to a concert and the opening act was, this is going to date me. I don't care, right? The opening act was LMFAO, and I thought, God damn it, I actually wanted to see that. So I should have researched, what is the opening act? There you go. It's a thing you want to see. So you should have gone earlier.
Oh, right. Didn't they open for like Black Eyed Peas or something?
Yeah, so, just research it. Just research it. And, sometimes like really great openers open for like Taylor Swift and things like that. So actually a great opener could be for anyone. You never know.
They might get bigger later.
Right.
That's why you never know.
You just never know. And it's not even, will they get big? It's just, maybe it was entertaining, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe you did want to see it. But do that research and then make that decision beforehand, I would say. It's terrible when you think there's an opener, but there's no opener, though.
What was the one where we couldn't figure out if there was one or not?
BTS, right? No, BTS we knew there wasn't.
We knew there wouldn't be. I think it was like Michael Bublé. It's like, was there an opener or not an opener?
Yeah.
And he just started at the time.
Right. So do all this legwork beforehand.
Yeah, and if you want merch, usually that same exact stuff is available on the website, so you don't necessarily have to buy it at the venue. Like, I don't think they really have exclusive concert merch. So it's going to be on the website somewhere, so don't think that you have to stay in a long line right then and get it. I mean, unless it's like your only opportunity and you can't buy it at some other time. But yeah, you don't want to spend a ton of time waiting in lines. If you're going to have an army bomb with you, if you want to have one, I suggest buying that ahead of time. That can definitely be bought ahead of time, so you don't have to wait in that line. Although that one time we were in that line, it went pretty fast. So.
Oh, but you should still buy it ahead of time.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's like there's no need to add to whatever waiting around you have to do.
Well, that's all I got to say about concerts.
Yeah. Hopefully that was helpful to people.
Yeah. Hopefully all of our many, many mistakes will help you out. Don't repeat our mistakes. Basically, a lot of it is just common sense. It's planning every little bit that you can plan beforehand.
Yeah.
Because once you're in that day, a lot of moving parts, people have been drinking, people are stressed out. It's not the best time to make any sort of decisions or research anything.
Yeah.
Plan all of that out ahead of time and work out contingencies too. If our preferred restaurant is this afterwards, but what's plan B, etc.
Right. Have some backup plans.
So planning beforehand is, well, as with most things, is it's going to be favorable for you. You'll be happy.
Thank you to our guest, Morgan. You can find BTS Happy Hour on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean, Castbox, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. New episodes weekly. Comment, review, or rate on the podcast platform you're using. If you're on Spotify, be sure to select to receive notifications for each new episode when you click the follow button. Follow us on Twitter @OurBTS. Check out our new Facebook page at www.facebook.com/BTS Happy Hour Podcast. Until next time, this has been the BTS Happy Hour. Thanks for listening, and remember, make every hour a happy one.